Hello, everyone. Fortunately, somebody told me that my video for the Empress card was very low in volume, and I did it, my gosh, years ago, a decade ago, maybe. And so they had asked me if I would redo this card with better sound and obviously better cameras that we have now. And so I appreciate the feedback. And I think it's very funny because before I started to do this Empress card, and you'll notice that in the Empress card, when you look at it, you will see a lot of small birds. The birds started completely going insane in my yard, and they're all singing, and the jays are all singing. And I thought that was really funny that the Empress clearly wanted her card redone, and now all the birds are cheering in applause for this card being redone. So, this card is, as you can see, it's the number 3 in the trumps. And as I've said before, that the trumps follow a particular sequence, that there are these natural ways that we evolve, that we start out innocent, wide-eyed, and bushy-tailed like the Fool. Then we actually move into the Magus card, which is about learning communication skills on different levels. And then we move to the High Priestess card, which is actually the card of the spiritual mother, and those lessons that we learn as a small child about our spirituality and how when we're small we are still connected to that divine energy, that one energy. And kids are so much more aware of the dead and different energies that can be around us. But as we continue to evolve, we get to the number 3, which is the Empress card. And this is about the divine Earth Mother. And so she is supposed to represent all of our mothers in the highest sense. Now, I totally understand that some of us, maybe our mothers were not the best. And that's why we have tools like the tarot, because we can actually become through the growth of our awareness in these cards, we can grow our own divine mother inside that knows how to nurture ourselves and take care of ourselves and feed ourselves properly and take care of our body and love ourselves and appreciate ourselves. So even if you didn't have the perfect mother, one of the tools we have is the tarot to teach us and to remind us that maybe right now, if you get this card, you should be changing your diet or drinking more water or getting more exercise or losing some weight or gaining some weight, because sometimes we're actually not taking care of ourselves, not eating properly, and we need to put a little bit of weight on. But this card is also associated with birds, as you can possibly hear on the video in the background. And they're the small birds. So those little birds that move very, very quickly, trying to give us information one way or the other. And you'll notice in the card that there are 3 small birds. You will also notice that the Empress has this beautiful crown. And she's got that beautiful crown, that is designed to let you know that she is royal. She's got this opulent outfit that's pink, that is got this inlay and all this intricate detail, because again, it shows her wealth, it shows her status, and it shows her power. The pink shirt tells you that she's coming from a very loving place, a very open-hearted place, a very sincere place. The green on her legs says that she's coming from also her heart chakra, which is also about healing, and that how healing love really is. I mean, there are so many times that love is the thing that will heal us more than anything else. Sometimes we need to feel attended to. Sometimes we need someone to take care of us when we're very sick. And so this green energy is the connection to the earth, those things that are nurturing, green vegetables, all those things that give our bodies what we need and our connection to the earth. So while she is very loving and very generous and very giving, she's also very grounded, and she's connected to the earth element because of the green color. You will also see the color blue in this card, and blue is the color of the throat chakra. So she tries to speak the truth with love. One of the things that I say is that energy moves up the body. So it moves from the root chakra, from our connectedness to the earth, into our place of joy and our second chakra, into our place of emotional understanding and clarity, which is our third chakra, and hopefully we'll move through the compassionate touch of our heart. And then at that point, what can come out from our throat chakra and through communication, hopefully will be kind and loving and caring. And I think right now in our society, we have a moment where a lot of negativity is coming out because what's happening is that people are moving energy from their lower chakras, but they're jumping the gap of their heart chakra. They're actually not feeling or even asking the question, is this true? Is it love? Is it kind? Is it compassionate? And when you skip the heart and the energy jumps over the heart, what comes out is cruel, sarcastic, misinformed, and not in alignment. So this card reminds us that we need to always move things through our heart before we speak them. You will also see at the bottom of the card that you are going to see that her legs are facing a certain direction. If you lay the cards out from left to right, you will notice that the Empress card will be facing the Emperor card. So his legs are facing her, her legs are facing him, and this is an indicator of the connection because it's the Emperor and the Empress, which obviously they are supposed to be connected energetically. The other thing you're going to notice is that in the lower area, you will see a bird, a very white bird. Now, I want you to pay attention to that because in the very next card, that white bird is going to turn to red, and then the shield is also going to go red. But right now, they're both white, and white represents the crown chakra and that spiritual dimension. But most people, when they look at this card, they actually think that the bird is a swan because, of course, it's the Empress and she's beautiful, but it's actually not. According to Lady Frida Harris, who designed these cards, a brilliant, beautiful artist, she says it's actually a pelican. And this is because in the ancient Thoth system, which is Egyptian, that the pelican was considered very sacred because the mythology around the pelican was that the pelican would look like it was bleeding and feeding its young from the blood of itself. So it represented selflessness, and that this bird and the Empress card is completely selfless. Like it will do whatever it needs in order to nurture, love, care for, and keep safe. But the truth, of course, is that the pelican goes out to the ocean, gets a whole bunch of fish in its gullet and in its gut, and then flies home to the babies, and then to feed the babies actually regurgitates that fish, which has now partially digested, and it oozed down the front of the bird, and the babies would gather up the liquid that was coming off of the mother's feathers or the pelican's feathers. So this card represents selfless love, caring not for themselves, giving your very life force for something that's really important to you. And so now the other thing is that there's a shield here, and the shield has two eagles, white eagles, which means that, again, the selfless love pops this card into the spiritual domain. So while this card is an Earth Mother card, she's completely dialed in from her love, that she's moving the energy through her chakras and she's connecting to the divine. So the other thing about this card is you're going to notice that her arms are sort of in circles because she's holding the world. She's holding and nurturing and feeding the world. She's giving of her heart and her life force energy. And it's pretty clear that in our world, if you actually don't have love, you don't feel like you have a lot of life force energy inside of you. That love is that thing that inspires us, and giving to others oftentimes allows us to grow and expand in ways that when we are a mother or a parent, we oftentimes learn that selflessness comes back to us in some very unique ways, that we actually just feel better. We feel better about ourselves. We like ourselves more. This card is an indicator of that selflessness. When you get this card, you probably need to give something. You need to give something away. You need to give something without thinking you're going to get anything back. So you're giving birdseed to the birds like I do. It's an act of love. It's not an act that I'm receiving anything from them other than their beauty. And this is that other thing, that beauty is something to be honored and respected and protected. Youthfulness is also supposed to be honored and respected and protected, because without that, none of us would be alive. And so, all of the mothers in the world, animals, all sorts of things, have a nurturing quality that they give their babies what they have in order for those babies to grow, survive, and hopefully thrive. So, I hope this helps. I hope you enjoyed the update for this particular card. Thanks, everyone.